Awesome. I'll go ahead and kick us off. So I want to thank everybody for joining tonight. I know it's a very chilly day across the Commonwealth and certainly a busy time of year for everyone. And so we just appreciate your time being with us tonight. I'm going to go ahead and call the meeting to order. As a reminder, the Committee for Mathematics Achievement was created legislatively under KRS 158.842 for the purposes of developing a multifaceted strategic plan to improve student achievement in mathematics at all levels of schooling, pre-kindergarten through post-secondary and adult. This meeting must comply with the requirements of the Open Meetings Act, and accordingly, CMA members must ensure that their video is streaming and can be seen through the duration of the meeting. Members and guests, please remember to mute your microphone when you're not talking. However, all discussions must be broadcast to the public. Therefore, be sure your microphone is not muted when you speak. Every time you speak during the meeting, please unmute your microphone, state your name. It gives the software a chance to recognize you, and then take a short pause to give before speaking. At this time, we'll have a roll call vote. And I believe, Ashley, are you able to join us?
Can you hear me?
We can. Would you like for me to do roll call?
Yes, I think I'm having some technical difficulties, so I'm trying to work on that.
Absolutely. Well, we're glad you can communicate with us as well. So I'll go ahead and start us in roll call.
Thank
so
you.
When I call your name, if you'll say your name and present. Ashley Adams, Chair.
Ashley Adams, present.
Chris Barwell. Melissa Biggerstaff did contact and say that she would not be able to join us this evening. Mason Dyer. Amanda Ellis. Chelsea Tingle.
Chelsea Tingle, present.
Donna Froge.
Donna Froge, present.
Zach Gibbons.
Zach Gibbons, present.
Funda Gunlatus. Jeannie Jones.
Jeannie Jones, present.
Stacy Justice. Jamie Link. Alvia Littleton. Jamie Marie Miller. Annette Williams. Michael Phillips. Natalie Rashad.
Here.
Joanna Stevens. Kelly Stone. Jason Taylor.
Jason Taylor, present.
Ed Tommy.
Ed Tommy, present.
Kim Zeidler Waters.
Kim Zeidler Waters, present.
Thank you. The minutes from the April meeting and the agenda for tonight's meeting were shared prior to tonight. I'm also going to drop a link to each in the chat. I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes from the April meeting at this time.
Hi, Donna Froge. Would like to approve the minutes from April's meeting.
Thank you, Donna. Do we have a second?
Kim Zeidler Waters, I
Jason Taylor,
second.
Okay. Please say aye or raise your hand for those who approve April minutes.
Aye.
Aye.
Those who don't approve April minutes. Okay, motion to approve the minutes from April carries and the minutes are approved. At this time, I'm going to entertain a motion to approve tonight's agenda.
Jason Taylor, so moved.
Do we have a second?
Kim Zeidler Waters, second.
Thank you. Those who approve the minutes, raise your hand or say aye.
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 Any opposed? All right, tonight's agenda carries as well, and I'll hand it over to Ashley to continue us with the agenda for tonight.
Thank you. So now we are going to hear some KDE updates with Chelsea Tingle.
I want to welcome you all tonight. Glad that you're here. I am the new director of mathematics education. I've been on board since September and very excited about this role and meeting you all tonight. So I'd like to share some implementation efforts and things that have been going on. So this is some things you already know about and have heard about, but I'd like to begin with some more of the implementation and timelines and efforts that we've had across the state for numeracy counts. So let's begin with the universal screeners and diagnostics. The published list is now available, and we're asking superintendents to make their selections by January 2026 for their choice of diagnostic and screener. The timeline ensures that local implementation can begin in the 26-27 academic school year. These tools are foundational to supporting data-driven instruction and early intervention. Next, we have several professional learning opportunities designed to strengthen numeracy instruction across all grade bands. So we have EPIC, the Numeracy Alliance with grades 3 through 8, serving 168 educators. This academy focuses on deepening conceptual understanding and instructional strategies. We have Advanced Kentucky's Access to Algebra that supports middle schools. Applications are currently open for 19 new schools. This initiative supports equitable access to algebra readiness. We have PIMSR Numeracy Counts Administrator Academy with 250 participants. This academy equips school leaders to support math instruction systematically and also has 25 coaches supporting administrators directly. KCM has K through 5. Let me admit. Numeracy Counts Academy reaching 990 educators. This academy builds foundational numeracy skills and instructional capacity in earlier grades. These academies are a key part of our strategy to build a strong math foundation nationwide. Now let's talk about HQIR, high quality instructional resources that KDE has shared an approved list to assist districts in their decisions. And that list has been shared out to districts. We also we've given out HQIR grants, and that list of awards has been released, and we're excited to see strong engagement across the districts. Then we have the HQIR adoption, and all adoptions must be finalized no later than January 2026. This ensures alignment with instructional goals and readiness for the next academic year. Let's also take a look at House Bill 162, known as the Kentucky Numeracy Counts Act. This legislation marks a significant step forward in our statewide commitment to improving mathematics outcomes. We've launched the Numeracy Counts webpage, which serves as a central hub for updates, resources, and implementation guidance. And if you haven't visited the website, I encourage you to take a look at that. It's being updated regularly. We've presented this information to several key role groups, and there's more outreach planned in the coming weeks. Our goal is to ensure that every stakeholder, from district leaders to classroom educators, has clarity and support throughout the implementation process. Right now, we're in the early stages of collecting preliminary data, which will help inform next steps and shape professional learning and resource alignment moving forward. This is a big collaborative effort, and we're excited about the momentum building around numeracy counts. Stay tuned for more opportunities to engage and contribute. Do you have any questions about any of these things I've shared? Okay. Ashley, back to you.
Thank you, Chelsea, for that update. So now we're just going to look at some updates about the communications plan. So again, the subcommittee back in March for the communications plan met so that we could figure out a way to best communicate the strategic plan. And we also reviewed this communication plan at our April meeting. So just to reiterate the purpose of our communication plan, we wanted to ensure clear, consistent, effective communication, align our messaging with objectives to achieve desired outcomes, and keep stakeholders informed and engaged. We wanted to make sure that we outline the key messages. We wanted to target audiences and communication channels to ensure that everybody receives the right information in a consistent manner, to specify the most appropriate channels for delivering that information, whether it be email, social media, newsletters, meetings. We wanted to make sure that the right message reached the right audience through the right means. And one big thing was to clarify who was responsible for initiating, delivering, receiving, and documenting communication to prevent confusion and ensure accountability, and ensure that all our team members are on the same page so we can promote collaboration and coordination within a project or organization. And so we used our vision statement from the strategic plan as a starting point and focused on our 6 priorities to think about how communications could be aligned with the priorities, and also think about the shareholder groups that could be included in our audience. And so we had came up with these goals. And so today we're bringing that document to you again for your feedback, and to see if there's any areas in the communication plan that you would like to contribute, or if you would like to volunteer to take the lead on. We're still kind of in that phase 1 part of our communication plan. And on the next page here, you'll see just a screenshot of the plan. And we're going to put a link to the communication plan in the chat for you to look at. And just take a minute. And so if there's any suggestions, or honestly, if there's anywhere you would like to volunteer to, be a part of, like helping with the delivery methods and how to do that, or to take us into phase 2 of this, we'll have a feedback survey at the end of that, or you can let us know now if you have any comments or questions about the communication plan. Does anybody have anything that they'd like to ask or comment on communication or the strategic plan, just in general, where we're at with that?
Ashley, this is Kim Seidler Waters. I think, did you pop a link in the chat yet?
Crystal, do we have a link in the chat?
What we have on the screen is really hard to read. I don't remember that we've received this document, so I'm not sure exactly what you'd like us to do right now. You just give us a little clarity, and I may be the only one that's lost.
No,
It isn't.
we had it at the last meeting, but I'm not 100% sure that it was ever emailed out.
Okay.
And so we could just email it out. That way everybody could have some time to look more at it before you fill out your feedback survey. That way you could give us some more in-depth feedback on this.
Is this the same version that we received after our last meeting?
It
Would have
is.
been that? Okay. And it's still being drafted is what you're saying, right?
Yes, we're still in that phase one. So we really, I'm not sure, Crystal, if you think we need to, the subcommittee should meet again to take us into phase two, or
Or do you want us to align with one of
Right.
these pieces now and strengthen what's here as a team before we move forward to phase two? Like, I'm
Right.
interested on the
Right.
previous slide in the third bullet, if that's
Mhm.
what you're asking us to sign up for. So not
Yes.
the previous one, I think. Yeah. Is this, are you asking us to align ourselves with a priority? Or the next slide, are you asking us to align ourselves with one of those three things on the next slide?
So those are the
If we
6
wanted to
priorities in
volunteer.
the plan. So on to the next slide. So if you would, really what I'm asking is in the communication plan, if you have feedback, or if there's anything that you would like to volunteer or take the lead on with that communication plan, with helping roll that out to everyone, because we know that there's still people, that don't know about the strategic plan. And so we're still in that, making sure that everyone has seen that.
Ashley, are you able to get a shareable link to the communication plan to drop in the chat?
I will check right now and see.
That would be perfect. So I do think it would be helpful just to pause a moment and allow people to kind of take a look at that. Is it the intent of the communication subcommittee to focus on that phase one rollout right now? Or are you thinking about also completing the plan
Right,
to
so-
identify additional phases and strategies for all the audiences that are listed?
Right. So a lot of phase one.
Ashley's frozen for me.
Me too.
I think she's frozen again.
Yes.
So let me ask a question for clarification. This is Kim Zeidler Waters again. So I noticed on number 6 that we have the PIMSR Kentucky Numeracy Accounts Administrator Academy on the actual plan, the communication plan. So on the actual communication plan, down at number 6, the PIMSR Numeracy Accounts Academy in fall of 2025 should have shared X. And so I'm just going to need Chelsea to help me realize that with this group, because we're happy to share this. I didn't realize I had that timeline, and I'm aligned with that state work. So we will get to that, but I probably need an adjusted timeline on that. So that's just one comment piece on that.
Yeah, and I believe the subcommittee was trying to plan for a plan that recognized those different avenues. But it really, I think everybody kind of has to look at it to see what's achievable. And so it's still designing the plan while also beginning to implement is what I'm hearing, right?
So Crystal, are you asking us then to help right now with this phase one? Like, I think Chelsea brought that up, like where it says the Numeracy Accounts Administrator Academy, should we be working towards this now? Is that the ask?
I think the ask is, are there avenues to be able to do that? So it's in design phase, as well as like, what can we already do, but maybe like those quick wins we can achieve. But Ashley, just to confirm, you would like for folks to look at it today to look for how they can support it, whether it's championing it, carrying it out, or also continuing to build out where there might be gaps. Is that correct?
Right. To look and see, is there somewhere that you're in there, like with PIMSR, like, okay, I can look here and say, okay, that's something that I can help with here. For all of us to take that and see, is there a place here in phase one that we can help with to actually, do phase one and get this out in there, and then look for next steps on how we can continue to roll this out to the other audiences.
And Kim, I think that we can collaborate on some examples of mathematics instructional visions if we want to do that for maybe the December newsletter, but I don't want to push you for that either. So we can work on that together.
I think a couple of things that might be helpful is we do want to collect feedback through the form, give space for discussion now if there are topics we want to discuss, but then also I think after the meeting, ensuring the communication plan shared with like the full committee for any feedback for awareness as well.
Does anyone else have anything that they have a question about or anything they'd like to comment on at this time about the communication plan or the strategic plan?
I just want to comment, I'm really excited about the strategic plan. I think that it's a good representation of all the things that we know are important in Kentucky and important for moving mathematics forward. And so I think this communication plan is a really strong companion to that to make sure people are aware of what's included. And so I appreciate the efforts of the subcommittee in beginning the steps in developing the communication plan, and just really think we have the right people on the committee to kind of come in and help flesh out some of these other audiences that maybe we don't have as much of a detail of how we could share it with them. But I think that we can come up with something that would be really, really impactful.
We ready to move on to the next
I think so, yes.
phase? Okay. The next portion of the meeting is to hold a chair election. First, I would like to open it up to any volunteers. If there are multiple, we can submit biographies and then hold an election. But first, I wanted to see if there are any volunteers for this.
I don't mind to volunteer again to continue on, but if anyone else would like to volunteer, you are more than welcome.
Thank you, Ashley.
If anybody's interested and maybe has questions for Ashley about the commitment, feel free to ask away.
It's really not a lot. We just, right before a meeting, get ready for it. But outside of this, it's not a whole lot. If anybody, wants to do this, it's not a very big commitment.
I think I've given enough wait time. So hearing no other volunteers at this time, we want to say thank you to Ashley for being willing to continue to do that for us. It appears so far she's done a great job in the short time that I've been on, but we will continue with that. And I'm happy you've decided to continue serving as chair.
Thank you, Chelsea. All right, so we do have the feedback survey that we would like for everyone to complete, and it will be dropped into the chat. Please let us know of future topics that you would like to have presented. If there's other things that you would like for us to have information about or discuss, please feel free to do that, and anything that you have about the communication plan, if you want to take a little bit and look at that before you fill out your feedback survey. But at this time, we don't have any other agenda items to discuss. So do we have a motion to adjourn?
Inside the waters, I make the motion to adjourn.
There has been a motion to adjourn. Do we have a second?
Donna
Jason
Froed.
Taylor, second.
Thank you. All those in favor say aye.
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 Okay, motion passes and this meeting is adjourned. Thank you all so much for being here.